rolling at the top of the hour, so I will call the November 16th, 2020 regular EDA meeting to order. First item on the agenda, we need to adopt the agenda. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
So the move first was Brian and that's Stephanie.
Who took the second?
Perfect.
Okay.
And all in favor, Stephanie, will you go around?
Yep. Roll call. We have Julie.
Aye.
Dan.
Aye.
Mayor Voss.
Aye.
Councilmember Passant.
Aye.
Brian made the motion and Tom seconded it. And then Catherine. Has she gotten on yet?
She's not on quite yet. All right. The motion carries. Next on the agenda, we need to approve the September 21st, 2020 minutes. First of all, any comments or changes on any of the minutes?
Just a question here on the topic. Oh, never mind.
Okay, got it. Hearing none, will all in favor?
Well, I move that we adopt the minutes. I'd make the motion.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Okay. It's been a long day. Yes, I need a motion. So Dan Butler makes a motion to adopt the minutes. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Brian. All in favor?
And roll call with Julie.
Aye.
Dan made the motion. Mayor Voss.
Aye.
Councilmember Passant.
Aye.
Brian seconded it. And we have Tom.
Aye.
Okay. And then Catherine hasn't signed on yet?
I do not see her on yet.
Okay.
So motion carries. Agenda item number 4, reappointment request for Dan Butler.
I'll move.
So,
On the East Vessel.
Dan.
Oh, go ahead.
Or next.
absolute. So Mayor Voss has made a motion to reappoint Dan Butler. Do I hear a second?
Second that.
Brian seconds. All in favor? I'll start with an aye, Stephanie.
Okay, and then Dan, I guess you can't vote on yourself. Mayor Voss made the motion. We have Councilmember Passant.
Aye.
Brian seconded it, and we have Tom.
Okay. Motion carries. Good to have you. Keeping on with us, Dan. You're a valued part of the commission. That's great. So agenda item number 5, business activity report.
We have a couple updates here. So the 2040 comp plan is finally going to be approved by the Met Council on this Wednesday. So the way it looks now, the City Council will formally adopt the plan on December 14th, along with our local water management plan as well. And so next step for staff, we'll be busy starting, well, Aaron and I have already started working on it, but we're going to have to do some zoning code changes and do some zoning changes on the map as well. So we'll start that in January. And then Dollar General The one on 209th and 65, they have submitted their building plans and it's about ready to be issued. We're just tying up a few loose ends and that building permit will be issued. Village Apartments Phase 2. So council approved the addendum to the developers agreement in September. So the addendum establishes like the letter of credit and updates to the architectural design and such. So the building is under review right now. But prior to the issuance of the building permit, there's a few outstanding items that still need to be addressed. One is the letter of credit, but the city attorney and I are working on that. We're about done with that. But we're still waiting for the signed developers agreement addendum by the developers. They also need to submit an updated lighting plan, which is going to show us where the parking lot lighting will be for phase 1 and for phase 2. The way that their plans show now, they're not showing any parking lot lighting at all. So we want those updated plans in as well. And then also an update to the landscape plan. They have submitted an updated architectural plan. So we do have that showing that they're going to have the brick on the other sides of the building too, or the stone. So we have that plan in place. So we're just continuing to work with them and tie up those loose ends too, but it can be any day where we can issue that building permit as well. Site plan expansion for U-Pull Auto Parts, that was approved by City Council, and I'm not sure if I should have asked Nick today. I forgot to, if the permit's been issued or if it's about ready to be issued. And then the next one that we have in is Aggressive Hydraulics. I've been working with them close with their submission for their building plans. Again, they're doing an addition on their building, and they're also hoping to do this another TIF project. So just again, working with Classic Construction on that, they're about ready to submit their building plans. And that's all I have, unless you have any questions specifically for any of the projects.
I was wondering, Stephanie, so any idea of the timing on the commencement of the aggressive hydraulics? Is that a 2020? Well, obviously a 2021. Is that second quarter, third quarter? What are they thinking?
Second quarter.
Okay. Got it. And I had a quick question just on things that are underway. I know you guys are super busy, but just checking on the development projects webpage if there's a target date to get that set up and when that information will be updated.
Okay, can you repeat that?
Oh, on the city webpage, when you click on current development projects,
Yeah.
it just says it's under construction and it'll be updated soon.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't aware of that, so yeah, I'll take a look at that.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions from anyone?
Julia, can I just,
Go ahead, Dan.
I'm just going to add about the status of the discussions on the broadband expansion that we've had with the county. Has there been any further discussion?
There hasn't yet. No, it's just COVID's kind of put it on the back burner a little bit. I do know Jaquel was going to be working with Harvey and some of the other people that will be part of the project, but she hasn't stated anything about a meeting setup or anything.
Can you check her and get an update maybe?
Yeah. Yep. Definitely.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
it occurred to me that U-Pull Auto Parts has started their project.
Can you repeat that, Dan?
U-Pull is, I think, project already. So it looked like they had some earth moving equipment, etc. Starting to dig in.
Yeah, so they are starting to move some earth over there at U-Pole. Any other questions?
I have a question. This is from the last, I was reading through the minutes. Dan had asked about occupancy rate at Cedar Creek. Do we have an update on what the expected occupancy rate would be for the building?
You know, I haven't talked to them in the last several weeks, but I'll make a point to reach out and see what I can find out, and I'll shoot everybody an email with what I find out.
Because they started moving in from what I see in the.
Right, right. Good question. Oh, do we know, by the way, phase one of the village apartments, are they fairly well occupied? Has the developer mentioned anything out of curiosity? Stephanie or Jack or
They're fully occupied.
oh, excellent. Okay, great. All right. Any other questions, anyone? Welcome, Catherine. Hi.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. If there's no other questions, and there's no motion from the EDA, we'll move on to the business assistance update, item number 6. And who will be covering that for us?
Thank you, Julie. The East Bethel City Council approved a business relief grant program at their September 14th, 2020 meeting. This program enabled the city to utilize CARES Act funds to provide assistance to businesses that suffered disruptions due to the peacetime emergency declarations and executive orders that addressed the COVID-19 pandemic. Assistance through this program included costs for current payroll obligations, lease or mortgage payments, utilities, accounts payable, and other critical business expenses that couldn't be paid as a direct result of the current health emergency. These were federal funds that were allocated to the state of Minnesota and distributed to counties and municipalities on a per capita basis. The city advertised the application period for this program on the following outlets: the East Bethel Chamber of Commerce website, the city website, cable channel 10 and city reader board, and city Facebook and Nextdoor accounts. The timeline for the applications, review, and awards were as follows. September the 16th, 2020, applications were opened and closed on October the 9th, 2020. On October the 10th, submitted applications were sent to an independent reviewer for eligibility approval. On November 2nd, 2020, the review recommendations of the independent reviewer were sent to council, and the council considered additional allocations over the cap amount if sufficient funds were available for additional disbursements. On November the 9th, these were presented to the council, and council approved the grant awards. On November 10th, the issue of the notifications of the grant awards went forward. Grant awards were capped at $10,000 for profit business applicants and $5,000 for nonprofit applicants. However, all businesses were encouraged to apply for eligible amounts over these caps in the event that the application amounts would be less than the program funds of $195,306. The city received 3 applications for the for-profit program and 3 applications for the nonprofit program. The city's financial consultant, Ellers, was retained to review and determine eligibility for the CARES Business Grant Relief Program. Ellers conducted an in-depth review of the applicant's ability to document that their business was adversely affected by an executive order related to COVID-19 or experienced a financial hardship as a result of a COVID incident. An applicant had to meet one or both of the following conditions for the city's grant program eligibility. Their business had to have experienced a 10% revenue loss year over year between March 1st and June 30th, 2019 versus 2020. And their business was restricted from operating above 50% capacity by an executive order in effect on May 18th, 2020. In order to evaluate the eligibility for the grant awards, council discussed the time period to determine the profit loss impact due to the COVID-19 pandemic at their November 2nd, 2020 work meeting. Eller's recommendation of the state standard, the period between March 1st and June 30th, 2019 versus 2020, was accepted by council. Due to small number of applicants, there were excess funds totaling $170,000 in the business grant program after the cap awards for the for-profit and nonprofit programs. City Council discussed methods of allocation of these funds and accepted an equal distribution of this balance to those applicants who have documented expenses to qualify for the additional monies. Ellers reviewed the other grants received by the applicants from the Payroll Protection Plan, Small Business Administration, Economic Injury Disaster Loan, Anoka County, or other sources, and determined that 4 of these had expenses over those covered by other assistance. Those businesses and nonprofits and their eligible costs for the additional funds were Slaw Industries, Beaverbrook Tri-County Sportsman, Inc., the Hills Youth and Family Services, and Star Academy of the North. Of the 6 businesses applying for these grants, those 4 applicants have enough eligible expenses for additional grant awards, which would not result in the duplication of payments for the same expense from other grant monies. Based on Eller's recommendations and council's decision to allocate the additional program funds on an equal basis, City Council approved the grant awards for the Business Relief Grant Assistance Program as follows. Slaw Industries Incorporated, $52,500. Beaverbrook Tri-County Sportsman, Inc., $43,902. The Hills Youth and Family Services, $47,500. Star of the North Academy, $47,500. And Innovations Plus, $3,904. No city funds, again, were used for this program. These are all federal funds dispersed to the state, to municipalities, and counties. And at this time, we have met with 2 of the applicants. They've assigned their agreements. Their checks have been dispersed. We'll meet with one other tomorrow. The other 2, their personnel that have to sign them will be in town next week, and we'll get those concluded. They'll have 60 days to show their program expenditures, and then they'll have to file a report to show what their expenditures are, and then we'll have to verify that they're accurate. So those monies have been placed and hopefully pumped back in the community and will help sustain those businesses going forward.
Thank you, Jack. Any questions on any of the information contained in the item 6 and the disbursement of funds or how that went about?
My only thought was that I was kind of surprised at the amounts requested versus the amount that then we process for some of the businesses. But I guess my understanding is they have to demonstrate the losses and to comply with what the government expects.
That's correct, Catherine. As you can see in those examples, 4 of those had showed significant losses. These were verified, again, not by us, but by our financial consultant, Ellers. And even when you took the other grant assistance that they were eligible for out, their losses were still significant, ranging from 80,000 to well over $2 million. So they did qualify for the extra funds. What we were surprised with, we didn't expect a lot of applicants, but I was surprised that there were only 6 applicants. We expected a few more, but that's all that we got. This is running fairly steady with what the county experienced. The county did 1 round and they were undersubscribed with their applications. They did a 2nd round, they were still undersubscribed. And now they've done a 3rd round, and I think they still have funds left over.
So at the county level, do you know if at the county level similar things happen and people were awarded a lot more than they asked for?
No, the county capped theirs at $10,000 each time for their businesses. So theirs were much smaller than ours. We didn't have time to go through another round, and even if we did, I think probably what we're finding in East Bethel is the impact wasn't as severe as it maybe was countywide or metro-wide. And I think
Sure.
that's why we saw a smaller number of applicants. There were, with the county on the first round and the second round that they had, there were 3 city businesses that applied for $10,000 grants and approved. And on this last round, there were 2 other city businesses approved. So some of these businesses did get county funds, and the rest of them were able to capitalize on what the city program was.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it is surprising the limited number of applicants because I thought we did a good job getting the word out in connection with the Chamber of Commerce as well. So, well, it's great that those businesses can be helped. Any other thoughts or comments? If not, we'll move on to item number 7, City Council report.
Very well. During the last council meeting, we just had a couple of items that are of note. Well, the third would have been the CARES Act that we went ahead and authorized. The other one is that council has authorized for the collection of delinquent accounts through property tax assessments on utility charges. And then the third item is that we approved the preliminary plat for Whispering Aspen's second edition, which is going to be 6 slots on a cul-de-sac. And that's all that I have.
All right. And we are to the end of the agenda. If there's no other business or comments, I will take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Councilmember Plaisance. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Was that Tom? Okay, second, Tom. All in favor? I'll start with aye.
And Dan,
Aye.
Mayor Voss,
Aye.
Councilmember Clifford made the motion. Brian,
Aye.
seconded it, and then Catherine.
Aye.
All right. Motion carries. We are adjourned. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Be safe out there.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stay healthy, everybody. Bye.
Yeah.